Hi, it's Maggie the Irish Gypsy here to bring you your August 2018 general readings. Thank you so much for joining us here today and welcome to any newcomers. Thank you always for those of you who continue to follow and like and share and subscribe, and always thank you to my clients out there, both regular and new, for continuing to keep me so busy everywhere that I am with the personal readings. Always an honor and a pleasure. So thank you for that. Yes, my background has changed. I am doing my annual gypsy thing, traipsing over Europe. I'm currently back in Poland. I love this country. And I usually travel, take little tours and travel from here as well. So it's wonderful here. I'm in a little flat and it is muggy and raining today. I love it. So thank you very much for joining us here today. And as most of you know, if any of you are interested in a personal one-on-one reading with me, live or recorded, you can get more information and my contact details by going to my YouTube channel's homepage, clicking on that little About button, or clicking on the description bar of all the videos I post. Turnaround time is usually pretty fast, anywhere from a few days upwards of 2 to 3 weeks, but usually within a pretty timely period of time. And I can usually get back to your initial communication within the first day or 24 hours with more info. So if you're interested, send me an email at Maggie1McGuire. I would be delighted to work with you. We'll go from there. I do readings in all areas of life: love and romance, compatibility charting, career, work, and finance, channeled messages from passed on loved ones, and I also do 6 and 12-month overviews to explore what's coming in your life in the near future, as well as gift readings. Okay, let's get right into this. This reading is for the air sign of Aquarius for the month of August 2018. Make sure to check your rising and your moon sign videos if you know them for additional clarification. General readings can vary in the details and specifics, although the energy and advice always remains the same. But they may resonate a little differently for everybody watching. Okay, Aquarius, let's see what's in store for you for the month of August. We begin with the Devil, followed by death or transformation. We have the Knight of Cups, followed by the Five of Cups. We have the Eight of Pentacles, followed by the Hermit. And we have the Page of Cups, followed by the Eight of Wands. And from the bottom of the deck, your overall focus and energy for the month. You have two that came out. The first is the King of Cups and the Tower. That actually kind of makes sense. Let me take a look here. So Aquarius, your crowning cards from the bottom of the deck, so you had two that came out with each other. So your overall energy and focus we have, or the significant thing, we have the King of Cups and the Tower. And I feel like this King of Cups, we also have the Knight of Cups and the Page of Cups, but I feel like it is all the same person. A water sign individual, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, Sun, Moon, or Rising, or somebody manifesting as the King of Cups, which would be normally a pretty emotionally mature, emotionally cool, calm, collected individual showing up as a king, but could be female as well in general readings particularly. And so this is a person who's showing up as significant somehow to you in the month of August. I am recording these in the last week of July. Now, what came out with him, but right on top of him, is the Tower, which is a major arcana card, which typically represents an event that happens, something that happens quite quickly and quite unexpectedly, and something which shakes up, disturbs, or kind of ends or breaks something that you thought was perhaps very solid, stable, reliable in an unexpected way, as kind of represented by the bolt of lightning kind of coming out of nowhere unexpectedly and striking this man's home. Which is built out of bricks and which he thought was very solid, stable, reliable. And the fact that he's falling out of it completely naked implies the unexpectedness of it. It usually represents a significant or even life-changing event. Something just popped up on my screen. Let me get rid of it. a life-changing event or something that happens which really shakes you like right down to the core. A lot of people kind of clench up when they see the Tower because it often, not always, often represents the breaking up or dissolution or dissolving of something that you weren't expecting it to, usually something that we're attached to. It could be something that shakes up your faith in some way, your faith in something or a person, an ideology, a belief system. The Tower and the Death are similar in that it represents usually something coming to an end or something really shaking you up. The Tower can be something quite positive, like winning the lottery or an unexpected marriage proposal too. But it often represents, you know, a way of feeling or thinking or looking at something being completely shaken up by whatever this event is. And it's connected to this King of Cups individual, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, Sun, Moon, or Rising, male or female. I feel like for a lot of you, you know, this created, particularly in the end of July and the beginning of August, perhaps for some of you may have created a fair amount of imbalance, something coming to an end, because we have two major arcana cards at the beginning of the month, which usually represents, two major arcana cards together usually represent a pretty significant block of time or pretty significant change or opportunity. The Devil represents imbalance, pretty significant imbalance, and that imbalance can take a variety of things. Imbalance means too much attention and focus in one area to the detriment and exclusion of others. This can represent addictions, conventional addictions like drugs, alcohol, sex, gambling, shopping, working, etc. Strong temptations or vices, negative toxic relationships, something being way out of whack, way out of balance. And it's clarified by death or transformation, which usually shows up when something comes to an end, but it's something which has been there for a long time. So you have, you know, you have the Tower and death or transformation both in this reading, Aquarius, which usually represents something, you know, whatever this thing is that happened, and it could be, you know, in general readings, it's going to mean different things to different people. This could be within a personal relationship, friendship, love relationship. It could be, you know, for some of you, something that happened at work. It's connected to this water sign or somebody who's manifesting like the King of Cups. He's an emotionally stable person, but on his off day, on the other extreme, he might be emotionally unstable, emotionally irresponsible, somebody who tends to emotionally manipulate other people. Something has happened that has shaken you up quite a bit and is bringing something potentially to an end, because death represents something coming to an end once and for all. It could be some sense of imbalance within a situation or relationship coming to an end, or it can represent that this thing which has happened, for some of you, it may be that this is a relationship or situation which has been up and down, and maybe you've tried to end it, or it has before, but it's always come back around again. But here is Spirit saying this last thing, this Tower card incident which has happened, this thing needs to come to an end once and for all. It's been there long enough, because death usually represents an ending of something that has been in place for quite some time, but there's definitely a sense of imbalance around it. I feel like for a lot of you, somebody, you know, this King of Cups individual, maybe did something to you again, because I feel like this is not the first time. Or whether it's in a personal emotional relationship or a relationship at work, it could be like a boss or a supervisor, a really good friend. I feel like this relationship, regardless of the nature of it, has been challenging, and this isn't the first time something has happened, but this time it's like, I want this to come to an end. I feel like, now for a smaller portion of you, it could be, you know, doing something over and over again. We do have the Devil, which sometimes can represent classic addictions, alcoholism or drug, or, you know, addiction, or like serial cheating or something like that. It could be that within a relationship. It could be for some of you, you may be the one who have been struggling with something, and maybe it's been hurting somebody that cares about you, and you've had difficulty over and over again. So it could be some of you might be on the other side of the fence of this as well. I feel like whoever it is that has done this is feeling remorseful, and sorry about it, and are coming to apologize. Again, I'm getting this again. And it could be somebody else, the person who did this maybe to you or you were affected by, or it could be you kind of extending this apology or remorsefulness, because next we have the Knight of Cups with the Five of Cups. Some of you, it might be somebody else reaching out to you in an emotionally supportive way. The Knights usually represent offers or opportunities being brought to you, or you extending them forth, because they're the deliverers, the bringers of the tarot. They are the result bringers. They also represent the speed at which a situation moves. The Knight of Cups is emotional. This could be emotional support, an offer or opportunity of love, somebody bearing their heart to you, expressing their deep feelings to you, or you to them. It could be somebody just reaching out to give you emotional support and love during a very difficult time, because it's clarified by the Five of Cups, which is a card of grieving over what is lost, of grieving over of what no longer is, which is represented by these three goblets, which are tipped over and spilled out. They represent loss of some kind, and this person is completely focused on them. All is not lost, though, because this is the Five of Cups, not the Three of Cups. You can see behind this man are these two goblets, upright and full, representing things that perhaps they still have to be grateful for, or opportunities still in their life, that it's not just all, blackness and bleakness and no hope. Meaning that it doesn't necessarily mean that this relationship or situation is salvageable, but just that if something major is ending in your life or the life of somebody you care about, it could be you offering this support to somebody else, in addition to somebody, offering the support to you and kind of giving you the message, yes, this is very difficult and very challenging and very painful, but remember, there's still a lot of life in front of you. There's still these things to be grateful for, still blessings, etc. I do feel like some of you, whoever has caused this hurt or been the one to perpetuate, who's kind of at the root of this tarot card energy, whether it's somebody else or you, they're generally coming to you and trying to tell you how sorry they are as well, or you to them. So there's a few different stories going on here. And I feel like a lot of you kind of, at least for a time, just put your head down and don't deal with it for the time being. I feel like a lot of you are just kind of involved in work and maybe staying to yourself. Around the middle of the month to the third week of the month, we have the Eight of Pentacles followed by the Hermit. It's kind of like, for some of you, this is, okay, somebody hurt me yet again. I don't want to deal with this anymore. They're coming back to me and saying, I'm sorry, or vice versa. And I don't want to deal with this right now. I'm just all about my work. I'm just going to focus on what I need to do day to day. I'm staying by myself, as evidenced by the Hermit. I just want to walk my own path and keep my head down and work a lot, work hard, put my head down into this. I kind of have this feeling that a lot of you are like, I don't want anything to do with this right now. I'm just focusing on work. I'm focusing on what's in front of me and what I need to do. I don't really want to spend any time around people. I just want to kind of immerse myself. Some of you, if this is a work situation or a relationship at work, it could be that, again, you're just putting your head down. You're not really interacting with anybody else. You don't want to. You kind of have this solitary aura. For others of you for whom it's a more personal relationship, you're dealing with it for the time being, regardless of what they say, I'm sorry, give me another chance, or vice versa. You're putting your head down, just kind of slogging through. At or towards the end of August 2018, we have the Page of Cups followed by the Eight of Wands. I feel like, again, at the end of the month, it's kind of like, when I look at the whole spread in the flow of it and in the chronological order, Aquarius, it's like this very challenging, potentially painful thing happened. There's a lot of imbalance. It may have caused a lot of imbalance, or it may be just a pattern of imbalance which really needs to come to an end. Somebody is remorseful and sorry. They're trying to tell you that, or you're trying to tell them that. There may be some offers of emotional support from other people, or you to other people. But I feel like, particularly those of you who are in the, hearing this apology or hearing whatever it is, you don't want anything to do with it right now. You're just like, I just want to focus on what's right in front of me. Regardless of what side of the fence you're on, it's like around the middle of the month, third week or so, you're doing what you have to do, putting your head down, slogging along, maybe being a little bit isolated. I'm not interacting too much with people. And then at the end of the month, we have the Page of Cups and the Eight of Wands. A message of love. Pages often represent messages or messengers, which is what I'm feeling this is. They can represent other things too, as all cards can. But I'm feeling the message here. It's an emotional message, a message of love, an emotional message, reaching out to try and communicate with you. I feel like it's not so much a specific message as they're reaching out, trying to communicate with you, or you're reaching out, trying to communicate with them, trying to open up the doors of communication, as clarified by the Eight of Wands, which is active, powerful communication. Someone's trying very hard to communicate with the other person, you know. And of course, in a general reading, the story can split in a few different ways. Somebody may be apologizing to you and wanting to reopen up communication with you again, but at least for the time being, you don't want to deal with it right now. It could be that you've, maybe done something in a negative behavior pattern to somebody else. You're trying to reach out with them. They're not having any of it right now. And at the end of the month, you're still trying to keep that communication open. Or you're going through this same thing and there's somebody else, like a friend or a loved one or somebody that's, trying to be there with you and trying to get you to communicate. Because it feels like for the last half of the month or so, there's definitely a sense of isolation on one side or the other. And somebody's just, they don't want to deal with this right now. They're wanting to kind of, just put their head down and deal with one thing or the other, or deal with, what's right in front of them. And for some of you, this could be whatever this Tower card represents, whatever it is that's happened. I feel like there's a lot of you that it's already happened. Like it may have happened in July or June or something like that. It's already happened. But this is just kind of the ensuing fallout, or how it's kind of playing out for you during the month of August. The only cautionary advice, it's not, I can't, I'm a pretty straight shooter, but I always try and, I always look for the positive in it too. And there's positive in this. For those of you for whom something is coming to an end, keep it that way. If you've decided to end something, keep it that way, because it looks like it's something which has been there for a while and it's time for it to die a permanent death. If some of you have been struggling with negative or bad behavior patterns or addictive behaviors, definitely this is the month to, this thing has to end once and for all, because it's causing a lot of pain and harm to you, to the people around you, or if it's somebody that you care about, it's the same thing. I feel like the time for apologies and reaching out is over for the time being. I think that you may find some solace in work and keeping yourself busy. I think that's actually going to be quite helpful for you, but don't isolate from the people that truly are wanting to kind of support you and help you as well, particularly if you're the one that's having an issue and you need help. Definitely reach out for that, or accept the help that's coming in as well, and work hard at it. For those of you for whom are getting an apology from somebody else, particularly if it's, the 100th apology for the 100th time, I feel like the communication is probably best. The time for words is over. It's all about action now, because whatever the source of this imbalance is, it needs to die a permanent death. It's time for it to be over. So Aquarius, that pretty much wraps up your August 2018 general readings. Make sure to, again, those of you who are going through a difficult time and need help dealing with it, or need help getting yourself out of a negative pattern, there is help and support to be had. Don't be afraid to take it because you feel bad, maybe over bad decisions you've made, or maybe if you've hurt somebody else or something like that again and again and again, and you're feeling, don't allow, my point is, for those of you for whom that resonates, don't allow, regardless of what the addictive behavior is, don't allow your guilt and shame to isolate you to the point that it prevents you from accepting help and support that you need. So that, I wanted to get that message out. So Aquarius, that pretty much sums up your August 2018 general reading. I hope that it has been helpful, or has validated some things you've already been thinking and feeling. Again, if any of you would like a more personal one-on-one reading with me, live or recorded, you can get that info and contact details by clicking on the description bar of all the videos I post, or going to my YouTube channel's homepage and clicking on the little About button. You can feel free to email me directly at Maggie1McGuire@gmail.com. I'd be delighted to work with you and set up a personal reading, live or recorded, as quickly as possible. And you can also find me on the smartphone app Instantgo under Irish Gypsy. That link is also provided. I will see you all in a couple of weeks for the August 2018 mid-month general readings. And until then, Aquarius, as always, I wish you joy, peace, blessings, and a happy life. Take care, and I hope to see you back here again soon. Bye-bye.